Zambia at the crossroads. The election that could change everything. 10 days. Just 10 days separate Zambia from one of the most closely watched elections in its modern history. Across the country, campaign songs echo through townships, villages, markets, and city streets. Convoys stretch for kilometers. Stadiums overflow. Social media is flooded with images of enormous political rallies. Supporters chant one name: Brian Mundubile. To his supporters, he represents hope. To his opponents, he represents uncertainty. But to millions of ordinary Zambians, this election has become something much bigger than choosing a president. It has become a referendum on the direction of their nation, which supporters of Mundubile have labeled the coming of the light. A nation that has changed its mind before. To understand why this election has become so emotional, we have to go back only a few years. In 2021, Zambia experienced one of the most remarkable democratic transitions in Africa. The pre-2021 era under the Patriotic Front government, led by President Edgar Lungu, was among the most development-intensive periods in Zambia's history. However, despite this progress, growing frustration with the unchecked conduct of PF cadres led many Zambians to vote for opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema, who had unsuccessfully contested the presidency 6 times before finally prevailing on his 7th attempt. Many voters wanted change. They hoped for economic recovery, better governance, greater opportunities for young people. The victory was celebrated not only inside Zambia but across Africa as another peaceful transfer of power through the ballot box. For many, it marked the beginning of a new chapter. But governing is often far more difficult than campaigning. When expectations meet reality. Like many countries around the world, Zambia has faced enormous economic pressures in recent years. A severe drought has reduced hydroelectric generation, contributing to prolonged electricity shortages. Families have faced higher living costs. Businesses have struggled with power interruptions. The prices of essential goods, including meal and agricultural inputs such as fertilizer, have become major concerns for many households. Meanwhile, political debate has grown increasingly heated with growing accusations of economic difficulties and tribal-based recruitment policies. Opposition parties have accused the government of using state institutions against political rivals, tribal favoritism, high consumer prices, amongst others. The government, on the other hand, has rejected those accusations and maintains that the law applies equally to everyone. These competing narratives have become part of Zambia's political conversation. Whether in markets, on buses, or on social media, many citizens are asking the same question. Has the change we voted for delivered the future we hoped for? The shadow of Edgar Lungu. Politics often has unexpected twists. After leaving office, former President Edgar Lungu gradually regained significant support among many Zambians who felt nostalgic for aspects of his administration or disappointed with current conditions. His renewed popularity became one of the defining stories of Zambia's political landscape, as a growing chorus of citizens began calling for his return to the presidency. It unfolded against the backdrop of a remarkable global trend, former leaders reclaiming power. From Donald Trump in the United States, to Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in Brazil, and Peter Mutharika in Malawi, political comebacks were reshaping the world stage. For many Zambians, these high-profile returns may have reinforced the belief that a presidential comeback at home was not only conceivable, but within reach. However, legal and political disputes involving Mr. Lungu also intensified. His eligibility to contest future elections became the subject of court proceedings and constitutional debate. Restrictions affecting his political activities generated strong reactions from both supporters and critics. Following his death, disagreements emerged over matters relating to his burial, with legal proceedings involving the government and members of his family drawing widespread public attention. For many Zambians, these events deepen political divisions during an already tense period. A new face of the opposition. As political alliances shifted, new leaders began stepping into the spotlight. Interestingly, the most prominent opposition figure to emerge in Lungu's footsteps is Brian Mundubile, a former PF leader, campaigning alongside his running mate, Mukabi Zulu, the lawyer who represented Edgar Lungu in his legal battle. Together, they now carry the mantle of an opposition movement seeking to rally support ahead of the election. In spite of attempts by the police to stop them, large crowds have attended their campaign rallies across different parts of Zambia, with supporters expressing enthusiasm through songs, dancing, and public gatherings. For many of those supporters, the campaign speaks to concerns about employment, the rising cost of living, electricity shortages, and the future of the economy. Opposition leaders argue that Zambia needs a different direction. The governing party, meanwhile, argues that reforms already underway need more time to produce lasting results and points to economic stabilization efforts, debt restructuring progress, and investments intended to strengthen the country's future. As always in politics, each side believes it has the stronger case. The real verdict, however, belongs not to rallies, but to the ballot box. Can crowds predict an election? One question dominates political discussion across Zambia. Do massive campaign rallies predict election victory? History offers a mixed answer. Large crowds often demonstrate enthusiasm. They create momentum. They generate headlines. But elections are decided by millions of individual votes cast in private polling stations, not by the size of campaign gatherings alone. Opinion polls may offer snapshots of public sentiment, but different surveys can produce different results depending on their methodology, timing, and sample. Ultimately, every election has the capacity to surprise. That uncertainty is what makes democracy both fascinating and unpredictable. The decision belongs to the people. On August 13th, millions of Zambians will once again walk into polling stations carrying hopes for their families, their communities, and their country's future. Some will vote for continuity. Others will vote for change. Whatever the outcome, this election will become another important chapter in Zambia's democratic journey, a nation that has repeatedly shown the world that leadership can change through the power of the ballot. History is being written once again. Not in presidential palaces. Not on campaign stages. But in the quiet moment when an ordinary citizen marks a ballot paper. And that single vote may shape Zambia's future for years to come. Africa's story is still being written. And sometimes, history changes not with a revolution, but with a vote. Remember to subscribe to this channel for informative content on the African continent.